why don't, because it's not the first time that fire hits Portugal the same way it hits California every summer. Why don't we, I mean, I don't know how much it would cost, but if the fire usually goes in the same places, or if the fire goes in places where the houses, right? Wouldn't be possible, and I'm just asking, I don't know, but wouldn't be possible to create a network of water hose, like something where, let's say, whenever the temperature is too dry and there's possibility of fires, then all of a sudden in the forest and everywhere we have a system that is already there, maybe something in the trees, or maybe something that's in the ground that just stays there, and whenever we need, we can just activate it and it just spreads water everywhere, just like what we put in our gardens, in like, for example, in Buddy's area, for example, he has a in his garden, usually at 11 automatically the whole garden starts, the sprinklers start pushing water for the plants. And I was asking myself, wouldn't it be, maybe somebody thought about it, to have a system that is a grid of water distribution in all those, I mean, I know it's a big territory, but at least where the houses are, or at least, I don't know, starting 10 kilometers before the houses, so that at least it can help to have a place where all of a sudden you have water sprinkling everywhere. Maybe it would change something, maybe not. And then I was thinking of something else, and I don't know if probably an engineer thought about it, but what about building some drones that, let's say you have 1,000 drones that can automatically, when you give them a zone, and they go fetch water automatically. So they just come somewhere and they get water in their tanks. Maybe they when they come to the base, somebody filled them up, or they fill themselves automatically from a tank. For whatever reason, they're over, and boom, they get the water in, and maybe they can get, I don't know, each of them like 100 liters or 50 liters of water. And then they go to a zone, and because they have cameras and radars and etc., and they are all interconnected, and they can arrive to a zone and just rain water on fire, but in a calculated way through AI, where whenever some drones are going to fetch water, the other drones that are there might be also just hovering high enough to see what's going on in the scene, and just look at wherever the fire is intense, and send the information to the other drones that are sending the information to a central AI. And this AI would then send the drones full of water to just send the water everywhere and assist the fire people. So imagine if one drone can only have 50 liters, but imagine you have 1,000 of them that are doing like this back and forth. When 1,000 drones at the same time send 50,000 liters of water on some places, and then they go back to refill, and maybe it would change something. Especially us, we live near water, so I was just thinking about those things. Like, is there a way that we can use all these technology that we use to circumvent this type of fire, and even just to stay around this area in those times, to make sure that before they start, or when they are starting, automatically these machines would go and flush water, because they are machines, so that they're not, it's not like humans. Like firemen can get in dangerous situation, but if you have drones that can go really inside, and maybe they are fireproof or some whatever, you can build those things in the right material so they can go near enough and flush water, or maybe instead of water, maybe some of them would have some special gel. I know there's a gel that I think somebody in California did something where they in the trees there's a special gel, and whenever there's a fire, it just pops and explodes, and it's an anti-fire gel. Like, I believe there are some ways that we can use all these technology that we've been using for nonsense. That would be great if we could use those technology for those type of things, you know, and maybe a network of both. Imagine if in all the forest you had captors that keep the forest the same and all these area the same, but they also have. Well, listen, this phone can tell you the temperature, can tell you your heartbeat, can tell you, this watch can tell you your heartbeat, can tell you if you have irregular heartbeat, can tell you your blood pressure, can tell you like all these things, can even tell you how you sleep, can see when you're moving and what you are training. It can see how much you train, where, etc. It has all the things. So imagine like if you take this of that size, right? You make something a little bigger, and you put it either on the ground or in the trees, and you create a red of those things that are interconnected and talking to each other, right? Those can tell you when there's a fire starting, when there's something, and you can have a central operation that knows those things way before, and then you have an army of drones. Like imagine if you had like, I don't know, 10,000 drones. Listen, these people are building drones to do war, drones that they can pilot to send missiles to other people without killing men. You can create all that technology for war, for destruction, but you cannot create that technology for saving lives. Like there should be drones for all that stuff. All these drones could be there. You could use those surveillance drones for beaches, for all these things. And what, we're gonna use them to shoot YouTube videos? So I mean, I was thinking of this, but I was watching, because it's not the first time that we have fire in Portugal. Every time there's the weather, like you need to just find a way. I mean, I was thinking of that when I was watching all these fire. I was like, yo, I mean, maybe somebody's thinking about it, but that would be a great startup. A whole thing where you can protect places, houses, and maybe you would have, when there's houses somewhere, maybe you can have this whole network of intelligent, smart things that are thinking, oh, there's a fire, and they can just send in drones and create this whole operation. And even maybe it would be an effort between the ground and the sky, and maybe in the ground it could try to spread something to when the fire is still small. That could help as well. And then those drones could just create rain anywhere, like, and while the other, when the drone is empty, maybe let's say you have 2,000 of them. Maybe while you have 1,000 that are recuperating water in the tank or whatever they get the water. Let's say it's I don't know, a few miles away from where they are, from the base of operation, while they are recuperating water, and they might also charge themselves. You have maybe 500 who are recuperating the water, while you have another 500 who are pushing water in, and then you have another 500 that are controlling the whole area, looking at what's going on, etc., etc. Like, that could be a great system to assist the firefighters, I believe. And I'm listen, I believe that at a point they will just create robots that can go inside of the fire and just work on that and go and spread water or whatever they can use to turn down the fire from inside. Because and maybe those, and they don't need to look like humans. They could just be some vehicles that are just going in and doing what they have to do, and they are fire don't really like phase them. Maybe they could maybe the drones could even like drop them, drop them, and they maybe they could look like little how you call this, spiders, and they will know how to crawl. Like, all these robots are being invented. All you need is now to put the thing, because I know that Boston Dynamics, they're inventing robots that can go in very small surfaces, like, or they can be like snakes and stuff, so they can assist people when you are trying to save somebody who's trapped somewhere, like this little kid was. Like, robots could help us in those operations, as long as you have somebody who's sending them the orders, and maybe there's a mix between the orders and the AI. That, listen, yeah,